Hello and welcome to the first session of today's Summer Tech Bootcamp from Texavi. So, so today we're going to cover Scratch, specifically what it is, who created it, where it's used, why is it used, and some very basics of the fundamental code blocks. So first of all, what actually is Scratch? So it's an online platform used to learn the basics of programming for complete beginners. So as you can see from this image, you can actually just access it by web, and it's a very simple layout, and it's very easy to understand. It uses block-based coding. So what it means by this is that instead of you having to type um, words and numbers and things, you can, if you look on the left-hand side, they're organized into specific blocks which do specific action. So for example, you've got motion, looks, sound. We'll go into all of this later, but all you need to know is that it uses blocks, which you can just drag across and organize in a structure, which you can then run as a program. You can create fun projects such as games, animations, 3D stories, and much more. Scratch is such a versatile program, which is why so many people love to use it. And as I said, it's one of the easiest languages to learn and use. So just a quick quiz to start off with, just to make sure that you know that you understand what we've just been talking about. So what type of programming does Scratch use? Is it text-based, block-based, number-based, or line-based? If you guessed block-based, you are correct. So now that we've covered what is Scratch, we're going to quickly touch on who actually created it. So who created Scratch? It was an MIT professor named Mitchell Resnick who worked with the Lifelong Kindergarten Group, a group of children, and he worked with them to develop this program and test it. It was created in 2007 at the MIT Media Lab. He aimed to develop an innovative environment for young people where they could create anything they wanted that was fun and animated and something to make technology and programming interesting and fun. So another quiz question, who invented Scratch? Is it Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Mitchell Resnick, or Taylor Swift? If you guessed Mitchell Resnick, you are correct. So now we move on to the third topic, which is where is it used? So where is Scratch used? It can be used in schools, coding, tech clubs, or even at home, like we're doing right now. It can also be used on a range of devices, such as a laptop or tablet, which is what makes it so versatile and easy. So, another quick quiz question. Scratch is only available in English. Is that true or false? It's actually false. Scratch is available in a variety of different languages. It's used all over the world as it is such a easy programming language to learn for kids and absolute beginners. It's been translated into many different languages. So actually, it's not just available in English. Okay, moving on to why is Scratch used? What's it useful for? It's easy to learn and understand because of the block-based programming and the different the layout of it. It's organized into many different sections that's easy to use. You just drag them across and make anything you want, really. It simplifies complex procedures into something that can be done with just a click of a mouse. For example, if you want to put music into your program, uh, it can be really hard to do that with a programming language like Python, which is a little bit more advanced. Whereas Scratch, it has its own section for sound, and you can pick from a range of like 30 plus different sounds, and you can put that directly into your program. Or if you're very musically gifted, you can record yourself playing a tune and just plop that into your program directly. This allows children to learn programming without being overwhelmed by the technical language that is used so frequently nowadays. But it can be very technical and very difficult to grasp at first. But Scratch allows you to just break it down into simple little words. For example, like loops, variables, they're all become very complicated to learn on Python or Java or languages like that. Whereas with Scratch, it's very easy to use as it's just on the side and it will explain uh, the function of everything and then you can use it. So another quiz question. Who is Scratch targeted towards? Is it professional programmers, children, university students, or adults? It is children that Scratch is targeted towards. Of course, anyone can use it if you really want to. So now that we've covered the four basics of what Scratch is, who created it, where is it used, and why, we're now going to move on to the fundamental code blocks and the basics that you need to know about Scratch before you actually come and use it. So there are 9 fundamental code blocks: motion, looks, sound, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my blocks. So motion, as you can tell, controls the motion of a sprite. A sprite is a character. So it can be a cat, a dog, a shark, fish, anything you want. And that character is what you can move around in your program. Motion controls how it moves, as I've said, so you can move it a number of steps. You can turn it a number of degrees, either forwards, backwards, whichever way you want. And there are some other things you can do with it as well, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. Now, looks covers how the sprite appears to someone who's looking at the program. So you can change its size, you can set its size, you can change the color of the sprite, or you can show it, you can hide it, or you can clear all the graphic effects and start from the beginning if you really want to. Now, sound plays the sound um, or stops it. So depending on which point in the program you are, you can start playing a sound and then you can make it, for example, move after it hears that sound, and then you can stop that sound as well. You can also, it's not shown on here, but you can also adjust the volume of the sound. You can adjust the duration, and you can even add your own recordings, as I've said before. Now, events is what happens at the start of the program. So events is actually very important as it marks the start of the program. So for example, when the flag is clicked, when the space key is pressed, or when the enter key is pressed, or when you click the sprite, then something else is going to happen. So the first thing you need to do before you do anything else with your program is select one of these blocks to start it with. Now, control is also very important as it controls how the sprite, what actions the sprite takes. So for example, the first one, repeat 10. So you can, as you can see, there's a gap between, it's a loop essentially. So you can put in a movement, you can put in a motion block, a sound block, or any other block you can put into the gap within these control blocks, and it will do that action a certain number of times for the repeat block. The forever block, it will continue doing that action quite literally forever or until the program stops. This if-then block we'll cover a little bit later on, but it's a decision-making block. So if something happens, then this action will be taken. There's also so many other blocks that will control the actions of the sprite as well. Sensing, this controls what happens to the sprite if it's touching something, or if its proximity, its distance towards something, then you can control something happening. So for example, this could be used along with the control blocks. You can say that if the sprite is touching the mouse pointer, for example, or it's touching another sprite, or it's touching a specific color, then it can take a specific action. The operators block is the mathematics. So you can do different additions, subtractions, multiplications with numbers. You can pick random numbers as well, and you can also do some comparisons. So if something is greater than 50, if it's less than, or if it's equal to. This is very useful if you're designing, for example, a calculator program. This would be a very useful code block to use. So variables are something that you make yourself and you give it a name, and then that will store a value. So for example, if you make a variable and call it score, say if you're making a game and you call it score, it will store the value of the score that you have in the game. So for example, over here, you've got set my variable to 0. So it will set your score to 0 whenever, for example, you hit something in the game, it will reset to 0, or you can change the variable by 10, 15, or any number you want if you do well in the game, for example. And finally, you've got my blocks. So this, if you're not satisfied with the 8 other sections of code blocks that you have, you can create your very own code block right there on Scratch. You can add an input, either a number or a text, or you can add a true or false block, or you can add your own label using text. But it just shows how there's no limits to what you can create on Scratch. With you've already got so many options with the 8 different sections of code blocks, but you can actually create your very own code block doing whatever you want it to do if you really want to. So here's another look again at the 9 sections of the code blocks that you have in Scratch. And then this is the last quiz question that we have. So what color are the blocks in the operators category? Is it purple, blue, pink, or green? And if you guess green, you are correct. So this is the end of the first introduction session to Scratch. For the next sessions, we'll be going into a little bit more depth about what kind of programs you can do with Scratch, and we'll actually show you some examples using the screen share, and we'll share onto the actual Scratch and show you how it works. So thank you so much for listening, and yeah, we're done for today.